Hello guys, welcome to part 7 of Naruto, Rebirth of the Yellow Flash. First of all, I say this story doesn't belong to me, so if you want to read the full story for yourself, you can find a link to the original story down in the description and read it for yourself. I'm just narrating it. That being said, let's get into the video. Naruto, Rebirth of the Yellow Flash, part 7, chapter 7, Genine. Soon the wait was over, and Iruka entered the room along with Mizuki. After silencing the class, Iruka said, "We will be having two more students joining us for the test today. Before anyone of you complain about unfairness, they were trained outside the village and have returned to take part in the exams." His announcement caused mixed reaction. Goran from grounds from the years and looks of curiosity from the civilians. Naruto, though, kept an impassive face on. Iruka motioned to forward the door, and two red-headed girls with cute round faces entered the room and respectfully said, "Hello, my name is Mito slash my name is Narumi Uzumaki. Pleased to meet you." Silence forward in the room. Naruto, however, began the Genin series connected the dots. Being Naruto, however, being the genius he is, connected the dot and understood that they were his sisters. He then remembered what his father had asked him to and vowed that he would protect them. Soon, however, the whole class bursted out laughing, and Kiba shouted, "Ha ha 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 ha! Who would have thought that our new classmate would be a pair of tomatoes?" Mito looked indirectly at the comparison, whereas Narumi looked downcast. However, all laughing caused to be when the room was filled with a very potent killer intent. Everyone, including the teachers and the new girls, were finding it hard to breathe. After a moment, Naruto shook his voice, eerily calm. "If you are done making a fool out of yourself, I would advise you to stop harassing our new classmates, or else." Naruto said, synchronizing on else was synchronizing on else with a fresh burst of even greater killer intent, making all of his classmates gulp in fear before nodding. Naruto then stopped imitating his ki and gave Narumi and Mito a warm smile before saying, "Welcome to Konoha. I hope to get along with you as well." Both the girls dumbly nodded and moved to sit on the seats behind Naruto, both of them having different seats of throw. Naruto Nissan is so cool. We are only able to produce that much ki in our tail wasted, thought Narumi. He stood up for us, even though he could have hated us. I hope he forgives us after we talk. Forgives us after we talk. Thought Mito. Thank you for that, Naruto. So class, thank you for that, Naruto. So class, let's begin our final exam. I hope all of you pass. I said Iruka as he and Mizuki started distributing the question paper. Upon looking at his paper, Naruto sighed and thought, as I expected, they would give me a question that even more some elite tuning would be hard pressed to answer them. Oh well, let's see what I can do. I am only aiming for the middle seat after and a middle seat After an hour, Iruka stopped the test and collected the papers before sending them for marking. He then motioned the class to follow him for their target practice. They were to throw 10 shurikens and 10 kunais to the practice dummies. The passing mark were 4 out of 10 for Shuriken and 6 out of 10 for Kunai. Naruto, though, decided that he would go all out for this test. There was no way he was going to be underplay Shuriken Jutsu. It was then that Iruka started calling out names. Most of the civilian kids failed except for a pink-haired girl, Sakura Haruno. The remainder of the year, including those from Naruto's groups, were a different story. Kiba, Sarui, Hinata all got 9 out of 10 in both kunais and shurikens, and all three wore smug faces. What? Hinata wore a smug face? That's rare in a story. Minato and Narumi both had scored 8 out of 10 in both of the categories. Izen had 7 out of 10 in Shuriken and 8 out of 10 in Kunai. Yakumo and Shino both had the same. The lowest among the years were Ino Shikamaru and Choji, who had gotten barely enough to pass. Ino Shikamaru and Choji. Nice. Naruto Uzumaki called Iruka as Naruto made his way to the positioning line. Sarui smirked and said, "Try beating our score, dope." Oh, the Sasuke is now a girl in this story. Naruto paid her no mind, which caused her to fury, and then returned to her brooding. She had started brooding even since Shisui Uchiha had murdered Shisui Uchiha. She had started bordering events ever since Shisui Uchiha had murdered his whole clan, leaving only Itachi, who later killed him, Mikoto, and Sarui. Oh, Itachi, Mikoto, their mother, and Sarui. Those are the 3 living survivors of the Uchiha clan. Nice. He was brooding because he was the one who wanted to kill Shisui, and now had made it her life goal to beat her brother and become clan head. Everyone a clan head. Standing on the line, Naruto looked at Iruka and said, "Sensei, I will be throwing both my shuriken and kunais together. Also, I will be using on of each for all 10 targets. One on for each of the target or 10 targets." Everyone's eyes widened at the claim, but no one voiced the suspicion because the previous pulse of killing intent was still fresh in their mind. Iruka looked for one for a few moments before slowly nodding. Naruto lazily took out a kunai and a shuriken before lazily flicking them both at the same time with a twist of his wrist. He then made a one-hand ram seal, which caused both of the projectiles to multiply by 10 and then go on to hit all 20 targets. It caused the whole class to drop their jaws. Who would have expected an average student to be so skilled in shuriken jutsu? As he was walking back to his seat, he looked and started stubbornly smirked at Sarui, Kiba, and Hinata, causing all 3 of them to sit at him. Hinata then shouted, "How dare you mock us, you peasant? We are above you." What? Hinata isn't shy in this story. Nice. In terms of clan and status, maybe. In terms of skill, definitely not. Also, why don't you put your skill where your mouth is? Naruto smugly replied before returning to his seat. His friends excitedly congratulated him, and Narumi and Mito smiled at him, which he returned in kind, causing both of them to blush a bit. Though Narumi's blush was more noticeable. Soon after, there were taijutsu matches. Narumi and Mito both tied. Same for Shikamaru and Choji, both of who quit because they didn't want to fight each other. Hinata and Sarui both beat a random civilian. Ino and Sakura tied after a struggles cat fight like brawl. Shino, Izan, Yamako all beat their civilian opponent almost flawlessly, passing with flying colors. Next, and the final match was Kiba versus Naruto. So dope. Are you ready to give up? If you grovel and beg for mercy, I will finish you off painlessly. Kiba said in a smug voice. Naruto just looked at him, blinking before saying, "You said something?" causing everyone to face fall and Kiba to shake in fury. Whereas in the Hokage office, where all available Jonin senses were watching, a silver-haired Amax Jonin Jonin wiped an imaginary tear and said, "They grow up so fast." Whereas an other wearing a green spandex with gigantic eyebrows shouted about the young boy's flame of youth having the corrupt and being corrupted and needed to be saved. Flames youth have been corrupted and needed to be saved. To which the silver-haired Jonin said, "You say something, guy." It caused the Green Jonin to cry anime tears and in his elite internal reveal hip like Atmos. Yep, Naruto is more like Kakashi. Back to the fight, Kiba rushed in as soon as the fight was signaled to start. Naruto, however, just stood in his starting point, not even moving from it, all the while deflecting off Kiba's attack and getting in caution's blows. Kiba was getting increasingly frustrated as the fight went on. How was he, the rookie of the year, being outdone? How was he, the rookie of the year, being outdone by a clanless orphan? He then shouted as he went in for another attack, "Damn you! Why can't I hit you?" As soon as he thrust his fist forward, Naruto caught before in a one swift motion, slamming Kiba out of the ring and signaling the end of the match. Naruto then answered, "That's because you are in the eye of the that was because you were in the eye of the hurricane." Saying that, he turned around and went back to his seat. At the Jonin lounge, everyone was surprised by the blonde. However, two Jonins had very similar looks on their faces, forming on of the advanced gate of the hummingbird style was no easy feat. A hummingbird style was no easy feat, especially the one which was made for multiple opponents. The next stage of ninjutsu went out without incident, with nearly everyone passing and becoming ninjas. After collecting his headband, Naruto left. His friends weren't able to follow him because of their families, whereas Mito and Narumi were stopped by Mizuki for some reason. Kiba was named Rookie of the Year despite having been beaten by Naruto. The Kunoichi of the Year award was shared by both Hinata and Sarui, mainly because both were away too prideful to admit defeat. Both were way too proudful to admit defeat and thus avoiding unnecessary problem. As Naruto was walking, Mizuki walked up to him and gave him a smile which immediately made Naruto to put up his guard. Mizuki was never kind to him. He was planning a trap here, and somehow Naruto was in the middle of it. I am sorry that we couldn't crown you as the rookie of the year. Kiva had better overall grades than you, Mizuki said, and Naruto with an apologetic smile. Me, no harm done. I did pass after all. Naruto replied with a lazy wave of his hand. His answer caught Mizuki off guard as he asked, meaning you don't care whether you are the rookie of the year or not because you simply passed the test. Exactly. Now, if that will be all, I will be going now, Sensei, Naruto said as she went away, leaving Mizuki to sit as he thought. The whole plan has failed. We will at least we get to kill two of the three demons. The whole plan has failed. We get to kill two of the three demons. We will just get this one later. Mizuki then smirked before running off in the opposite direction. He was unknowingly being followed by Naruto, who, after suspecting him of trying something evil, since back. In a forest near the village, both Mito and Narumi entered a clearing and started waiting for their sensei. Are you sure we should be here, Mito? Narumi nervously asked. Yeah, if we pass the test, then we will be crowned as the Konoichi of the year. Don't you want to make mom and Nissan proud? Mito asked her twin, who recklessly nodded. Suddenly, a couple of sandbones hit both of the girls on the back of the neck, and they felt the control of their bodies leaving them, and they fell unconscious. Suddenly, four people came out of the bushes and started sneering at them. Well, Mizuki, who would have thought your plan would work so well? Now we can rid Konoha of its demons, and we will then be seen as heroes. The one of them said, "I have a better idea, Abo Abba. How about playing with them for a little while? We are alone, and a little release wouldn't hurt anyone," said the third figure of the group. However, before any one of them could even move, 12 chains erupted from the ground and formed a dome-like structure around both the unconscious girl. The four men didn't have the time to react, as three of them were hit by multiple shurikens before they could react, and fell down on the floor unconscious. The only one left awake was Mizuki, and the flicker frantically looked around before stopping Naruto on one of the bushes, spotting Naruto on one of the bushes. What are you doing here, demon? How dare you interrupt our attempt at cleansing Konoha? Naruto didn't answer him and said, "Is that enough evidence for you to wirelessly assault?" As he asked that, an Anbu appeared behind Mizuki and knocked him out. He nodded at Naruto, who created shadow clones and took Mito and Narumi with him, leaving the Anbu to deal with the traitors. Making his way to his apartment, he set both Narumi and Mito on his bed and waited for them to wake up. Knowing the special Uzumaki healing treat, they would be awake after 2 hours at most, and except to Priden, both girls who wake up after protection. Both girls woke up after 2 hours and frantically looked around before spotting each other. They then slowly got up and cautiously made way out of trying to find out where they were. Soon they spotted a familiar figure in the form of their brother as he was making some coffee. Good, you are awake. Sit down by the table. The coffee is almost ready, said Naruto with his back turned. Both girls visibly relaxed and then sat down. After a few moments of silence, Mito spoke up and said, Nisan, if you only wanted to talk with us, why did you kidnap us? Naruto burst out laughing at that, causing Mito to grow red with embarrassment. After a grown red with embarrassment. After Naruto stopped laughing, he handed both of the girls their coffees before apparently ruffling their head and saying, I didn't kidnap you guys. Those were just some bad guys who were jealous of you and wanted to harm you. But your Nissan took care of it and brought you to his place. Currently, you are attacked while being attackers. Currently, your attackers are being withheld by Anbu. Both of the girls connected the dots and understood that had Naruto not appeared when he had, the girls would have lost more than their lives. Would have lost more than their lives. Both of them looked down, not meeting his eyes, sensing a despairing aura. He said, "Hey, what's with that long face? You finally meet your brother. You should tell me about your lives and your training." With a look of disbelief, both looked up and saw him smiling before they started relaying the tales of training. As they were talking, Naruto started cooking dinner, and soon they were eating. After they had finished talking, Naruto said, I have already informed both the Hokage and Kushina-sama about what happened, and they are currently integrating the whole investigating the whole setup. You can stay here for tonight or go to your place. It is up to you. We would like to stay, Nissan, said Narumi with Mito nodding along. All right, then go take a shower and go to the room you got up in. Go to the rooms you got up in. I will lend you some clothes for the night, said as he got up and left. Mom was right. Mito Nissan, will save us. Mom was right. Mito Nissan will save us from trouble, said Narumi. Yeah, she was, but I was thinking if Nissan is saving us, then who will save Nissan? If Nissan is saving us, then who will save Nissan? Asked Mito. Leaving this though thought, both looked their showers and reached their rooms. Soon, however, they found themselves unable to sleep because of what happened earlier. Both made their way to Naruto's room and knocked on the door. Before entering, they saw Naruto sitting on his bed reading a book. Seeing them enter, he closed the book and looked at them before asking, scared of closing your eyes in fear of what happened today? Both of them nodded. Sighing, Naruto motioned them to come in his bed. Mito to his left and Narumi to his right. He then said, Listen, I am here for you. I will protect you. Get some sleep. You have to go home tomorrow, okay? Both nodded before Narumi asked Nisam, will you come with us? Naruto shook his head and said, both of you are seen as heroes by the majority of the population here. Me, on the other hand, am the village praise. It would be better if we kept our distance. Today was an exception. Now get some sleep. He finished with a tone of fatality, causing both of the girls to nod and then slug into the drift to sleep. Naruto sighed to himself after spending time with his sister. He wanted nothing more than to be close to them. They had several quirks that he found cute, several weird quirks that he found cute. He guessed it would have to talk to Gigi about this. Smiling, Naruto picked up his book and started reading it again. Elsewhere, looking around a chamber where Hiruzen, Jiraiya, Kushina, Itachi, and Kakashi. All of them were smiling at the scene before them. See Kushina, I told you he wouldn't hold anything against them, said Jiraiya. Hi. I am really happy that my babies are finally connecting with each other after my horrible error, said Kushina with a sad smile. After my now we have to deal with who teaches Naruto. The council will make sure that he remains without a team because of the uneven Genine numbers. Remains without a team because of the uneven Genine numbers. They decided Kakashi to train the Uchiha and Kashunian to stay with her daughters and Kushina to stay with her daughters, Kakashi to train with the Uchiha, and Kushina to stay with her daughters. There is no setup that fits with Naruto getting a team, said Hiruzen with a sigh. Before anyone could speak, Itachi coughed and said, Hokage-sama, I would like to take Naruto as my apprentice. I have fulfilled all the requirements to be a Jonin. I am an S ranked. I have fulfilled all the requirements to be a Jonin, and I am S ranked. The council can't force me to do anything because I am the clan head, so there shouldn't be any problem. Hiruzen smiled and said, "You are planning for this, weren't you? You are planning for this, weren't you?" I may have or I may not have been. Itachi replied with a very small smile. Very well then, Itachi. I will leave Naruto to you. Good luck, said Hiruzen as everyone exited except Kushina. Everyone except Kushina left. I know what you are thinking, Kushina. Give him some time to come into terms to everything. He has always wanted a family and he is entirely confused. Give him some time and be there if he ever needs you. Who knows? He goes part the request to and sees you like family again, said Hiruzen, to which Kushina nodded and left. The next day, after dropping both of them to the Uzumaki estate, he made his way to his GG's office to get his registration photo in. Making his way after having a friendly greeting with the security, Naruto entered the office by kicking the door open and shouting, "Gigi, I did it! I passed, and here is the photo of the Shinobi registration." Hiruzen chuckled at the bond. It still surprised him how someone would be so serious when the situation demanded it, and on the next moment be as relaxed and carefree as android pile of on the football field. Okay, Naruto, come here and show me the picture, said Hiruzen as Naruto handed him the picture. In the picture, he tried to pull on of the Minato's signature glares. Minato's signature glare, and he almost got it right as well. Soon, however, the door busted open. A small kid around the age of 5 ran into the room with a wooden kunai, shouting, "I have you now!" However, before he could throw the kunai, trembled over his own scarf and fell down. Looking up the floor, he pointed at Naruto and shouted, "You tripped me!" Naruto gave him a blank look before he burst out laughing. He then said, "Oh, haven't had a laugh like Oh, I haven't had a laugh like that in a long time. Kid, you tripped on your own scarf. You should stop wearing it until you become older. Don't lie. You just admit you did it. You just admit you did it," the kid shouted. Naruto went up to the kid and picked him up, saying, "Listen up and listen hard, brat. Instead of blaming others, try training to get better. Because as you are now, you wouldn't last a minute against me, let it alone someone like Gigi." "Hey, he is my Gigi. Hey, he is my Gigi," Konohamaru shouted. Yeah, I am stronger than you. So "Hey, he is my Gigi," Konohamaru shouted. "Hey, yeah, I am stronger than you, so he automatically becomes my Gigi," he said Naruto with a smirk. After a few moments, a Jonin wearing sunglasses appeared and shouted, let Honorable Gansat go, you fiend." Yeah, I am not even inspired in the spirit squad," said Naruto as he let Konohamaru go before bonking him on the head. Naruto then turned to Hiruzen and said, "Nee, Gigi, let's go get some ramen. We haven't eaten together in ages." I wish I could go, Naruto, but with new Genins, my paperwork is on a all-time high. Hiruzen replied with a sigh. "Well, you could always use shadow clones for the paperworks. Everything they read will be transformed to you," Naruto said in a matter of fact tone. Hiruzen stared at Naruto for a few moments before standing up and gloaming Naruto. Thank you. You just helped me defeat the Bam of all Kage. Take that, Onoki rot in hell. Take that, Onoki rot in hell while I enjoy. Hiruzen finished with a menacing laugh, causing Naruto and the others to sweat drop at the Sarutobi's act. Elsewhere in the land of rock and the land of the lightning, two Kage sneezed at the same time. "Damn, Hiruzen slash old monkey, you must have found the answer to paperwork." "Damn him, I will ask him during the upcoming Chunin exams," thought both the Kages. "Anyways, Gigi, let's go for some ramen today, okay?" said Naruto, to which Hiruzen nodded with a smile. Turning to Konohamaru, he said, "See ya later, Scott," before he disappeared in a leaf shishuin. "Nee, Gigi, who was that?" Turning to Konohamaru, he said, "See you later, Scott," before disappearing in a leaf shishuin. "Nee, Gigi, who was that?" Konohamaru asked. I think he is arguably the strongest genin in all of the elemental nations, Naruto," he said Hiruzen. Looking at Konohamaru's interest, the Jonin said, You shouldn't associate yourself with that honored grandson. If on is to become the Hokage, he must learn over 1,000 jutsus, and Ibisu, the elite trainer, can give you a shortcut to become a Hokage." He then looked around and saw that Konohamaru was nowhere to be found. Then he looked at Hiruzen, who had an amused smile on his face, and asked, Where did the honorable grandson go, Hokage-sama?" "I think he went to find Naruto. He seemed to have taken a keen liking to the boy," Hiruzen replied. "Time skip on wake. After all the academic graduates were sitting and waiting for Iruka to appear with the teams. Over the week, both Mito and Narumi had been unveiled as clan heirs, to which was people were constantly looking at them with look of respect and were trying to befriend them. Naruto was sitting quietly next to Shino, both of them not willing to break the silence around them. So soon Iruka appeared with the teams and started off with his speech on their duties to the leaf. His speech was ignored by most canines because they considered it to be boring. All right, now for the teams. Team 1 to 5 random unimportant civilians. Team 6 Sarui Uchiha, Kiba Inazuka, and Sakura Haruno. Ignoring the shout of love conquer all. Ignore the shout of love conquers all. Your Jonin sensei will be Kakashi Harake. Team 7 Narumi Uzumaki, Mito Uzumaki, and Hinata Hyuga. Your Jonin sensei will be Kushina Uzumaki. Nice. Team 8 Shino Aburame, Yamako Kurama, and Izu Sarutobi. Your Jonin sensei will be Kuranai Yuhi. Team 9 will be in calculation. Team 10 Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi, and Ino Yamanaka. Your Jonin sensei will be Asuma Sarutobi. Team 11 will be a two-man cell, Naruto Uzumaki. Team 11 will be a two-man cell, Naruto Uzumaki. You will be apprentice of Itachi Uchiha. Naruto gave a real smile at being able to train with one of his precious people, whereas Shirui just glared in annoyance. Why would an Uchiha train and clanless loser? She thought. Yeah, he's a clanless loser. What do you mean? You will see. Goddamn, their looks would be precious. Your sensei will be here in an hour. You may do anything you like in said hour. Iruka finished before leaving. Naruto sighed before taking out a deck of card. He looked around the class and said, "Anyone on a play?" An hour later, when all the senses, including Kakashi, who had been dragged by Kushina, arrived, they saw all the Genins gambling, and by the looks of it Naruto was winning a lot. Obviously, he's gonna win. Oh, Genins are starting to gamble. Nice, Naruto. Take all the chances. Gah, you have to be cheating, Kiba shouted in frustration as he pointed a finger at Naruto. Naruto just incontinently smiled at him and said, You say something, Kiba?" causing everyone to once again face fall and all the Jonins to snigger. It was then they decided to reveal themselves. Team 6, come with me, Kakashi ordered. Team 7, follow me to the training ground 7, Kushina started. Team 8, after me, please, said Kuranai. Team 10, to the restaurant, said Asuma. Once all of them were gone, Naruto waited for a while with his eyes closed before saying, You can come out now, Nisan. It seems you are getting better with your sensing. You are able to sense me even though I was just masking half of my power, said Itachi as he stepped out of the shadows. Ah, come on, Nissan. You know the ability is not completely mastered. The ability is not completely mastered. You should just cut your favorite sibling some slack. Naruto said with a pond. Oh, and and what gives you the idea that you are my favorite sibling? Itachi asked an amused expression. 3 reasons actually. 1. I have a completely developed Sharingan that I cannot I am not dependent on. I don't have a 7 foot stick up my ass unlike your other sibling. I don't have a 7 foot stick up my ass unlike your other sibling. I am just way too awesome to be not your favorite. Naruto replied with a foxy grin. Wow, Naruto, nice one. Itachi chuckled and ruffled Naruto's hair before saying, "You have got that right. Let's go." Naruto jumped up from his seat and followed Itachi as they left towards the dango stand. After reaching the stand and ordering their favorite, Itachi sat down on a table and said, "Now I know all about your style and skill, Naruto-kun. So I wouldn't waste time in testing your ability. And I also have a fair idea of what to teach you, but I don't know if you plan on learning any apart what you are currently doing. Apart of what are you currently doing? If you are planning on learning anything after a part of what you are currently doing." Hi, Nissan. I was thinking of improving my taijutsu repertoire. I have the hummingbird, which involves speed and accuracy, but not that powerful attacks. I was thinking of adding a defensive style along with a direct style that uses powerful hits. After that, I think it high time I started my elemental manipulation with Genine. It's only high level ones that I can learn. With Genjutsu, it's only high level ones. With Genjutsu, it's only high level ones that I can learn. And finally, I have mixed thoughts about starting Kenjutsu. Fuinjutsu will be carry on in the place it is going, carrying on the place it is going. Naruto replied. That is indeed a very well thought out plan, Naruto-kun. I think it would be best that you get scroll for the Toad style because it is among the best defensive taijutsu style available for a direct one. I think Goken will suit you, or we could utilize your Sharingan and have you learn the interception feast. We will start elemental manipulation as I was already planning on it. I think Kenjutsu will be good for you considering the fact that your mother is currently the best Kenjutsu uh, uh, partici- partition in the world, said Itachi. She is not my mother, Nissan. I am in no way related to Lady Kushina. I agree with your other suggestion. So when do we begin? Naruto asked in a very swift tone. Itachi sighed inwardly. Unwillingly said one of the reasons he had taken Naruto as his student was to get him to release the hold on his past brought nothing but sorrows. Past though brought nothing but sorrows, but it seems like he had his work cut out for him. He couldn't blame Naruto. Naruto endured both his incented both his mother, his grandfather, and not to mention the entire village where a few people. Haki Itachi. Hiki Itachi knew Itachi knew the only reason he had become a leaf shinobi was because of his heck. Itachi knew the only reason he had become a leaf shinobi was because of his father. He had his work cut out for him. We shall begin tomorrow morning in training ground 43. It is surrounded used by it is summoned Sidom used by the used by others, and we would be able and would be a good area to let lose, said Itachi, to which Naruto nodded. Naruto soon developed a mischievous glint in his eyes, which immediately caused Itachi to go on the defensive. With a smirk on his face, Naruto says, "Oh, so, Ni-san, have you finally asked Ayame Ni-san to out, did you?" Ha ha. This question caught Itachi off guard and he started out refreshingly sighing. Naruto shook his head and said, "You know, Nisan, you should ask her out already. Yeah, nearly everyone in the village knows that you are infatuated with each other. You are infatuated with each other." Wow, Naruto, you're slick. And Itachi then sighed and said, "It's not that simple, you know. I may be an S-rank ninja with a monger of Konoha Raven summoning for the ravens, but I am still a love-stricken teenager. But I'm still a love-stricken teenager. I get very shy just thinking about her. How am I supposed to ask her out?" "Well, Nissan, it seems like you need my help. After training tomorrow, we are going to be discussing you asking Michan out," said Naruto. Ho, and how will you help me?" asked Dachi. "You are looking at someone who has read nearly every romance novel in Konoha. I can offer a lot of advice," Naruto said. Both nodded to each other and began eating in silence, making occasional small talk. I'm a bit thirsty, so wait a minute. Team 6. "Alright, team, let's get on with the introduction," said Kakashi as he started at the Genin in front, stared at the Genin in front. So in this story, Sasuke is a girl, Itachi is in love with Ayame. Nice. Why don't you go first?" said Sakura. Sighing, Kakashi said, "My name is Kakashi Hatake. I have many likes, some dislikes, my dreams for the future. You are way too young to know." "Now, you, Pinky," said Kakashi. "My name is Sakura Haruno. I like blushing, looking at Kiba. My dreams are looking at Kiba again and with a slight nosebleed. With a slight nosebleed. My dislikes are Ino Pig and Naruto Baka. Idiot Naruto for what he did to Kiba-kun," said Sakura. "Great. Just what I wanted a fan. Just what I think a fangirl," said Kakashi. "Now you, dog breath," said Kakashi, pointing at Kiba. Grumbling at the nickname, Kiba said, "My name is Kiba Inuzuka. My likes include training with my partner Akamaru and learning new jutsus. My dislikes include girls who don't listen to my advice and that dope Naruto. My dreams for the future is to become the best Inuzuka clan head in history." That instant a pervert with a dense dream. Interested a pervert with a dense dream, thought Kakashi before pointing at Sarui and said, "Your turn, sunshine. Your turn, sunshine." Nice name. My name is Sharui Uchiha. My likes are tomatoes and training. My dislikes are my brother because of his attitude and Naruto just because he is. My dream is to beat my brother and become the clan head and lead the clan back to its previous glory," Sarui said in a monotone voice. "So all three have a common standing in hating Naruto. Interesting," thought Kakashi, clapping his hand. He said, "Well, all those are good goals and dreams. Now all of you go home and come back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp for the Genin test." Oh, There are gonna be flips soon. He finished as he smirked in his head. Flip soon? What do you mean by test, Sensei? We already passed the academy test, Sakura said, her voice launched with confusion. Oh, the academy just narrowed down people who can take the real test. In the test tomorrow, normally 66% of Genine fail and are sent to the receivers. Oh, just so you know, I have never passed a team before. Now, before you go on, remember not to have breakfast or else you will throw up, said Kakashi he disappeared. Disappeared into a puff of smoke, leaving behind three confused Genin with Team 7. Alright, team, let's begin with introduction. I will go first. My name is Kushina Uzumaki. My likes are my family, my dislikes are people who harm my family, and my dream is to one day reconcile with my son who I have wronged in the or in the worst possible way. Kushina said, her voice losing its happy eager urge as she finished speaking. Mito and Narumi both gave similar intros, and then finally it was Hinata's turn. She merely shook and said, my name is Hinata Hyuga. I am the youngest of the Hyuga clan. My likes include training and putting people in their place. My dislikes include the cage bird seal and some other things. My dream is to become a good clan head and find an answer to the cage bird seal. All right then, we will meet to here tomorrow for the start of our mission and training. Now, I want you to know that being your sensei, there will be no secret between us. If you have anything on your mind, tell me, and I will help you in any way, any and every way I can. Now off you go. I need to report to the Hokage, said Kushina before leaving the trio. Hinata wasted no time and left the red-haired twins. Both the sisters then dragged before deciding to visit Naruto canon for Team 8 and Team 10 about their about their test and what not. I am not gonna write about. Oh, that's the writer's note. Meaning Team 8 and Team 10's interaction and other things go pretty much similar to the canon side. Making their way through the village, both the girls received many greetings and look of respect. Honestly, they enjoyed basking in attention. Turning around the corner, they noticed Itachi casually walking and eating a pocky stick, eating a pocky stick. Running up to him, Mito shouted, Itachi sensei, have you seen Naruto Nisan anywhere? Itachi gave an unnoticeable smile and said, he went over to train near his house. Afterward, after we did the test, he said, and had just completed a jutsu. He said he had just completed jutsu and was gonna test its full power. If you both go, you may just see it in action. Both of the girls excitedly nodded before rushing off to Naruto, leaving chuckling Itachi behind. I wonder how they will react seeing his own spiral release. His very one is spiral release. Itachi before he went on his mere way. Soon the girl reached Naruto's personal training ground and saw him throw a ball of pure chakra before creating a ram sign and shouting spiral release, spinning Senbon rain, spiral Senbon release rain. As he said the name of the chakra ball shrouded before exploding, sending countless senbon made of pure chakra into the surrounding surroundings. You can come out, Namito. Narumi said Naruto, and both the girls sheepishly stepped out. So, what can I do for you? Asked Naruto as he picked up his jacket and wore it. We came to see you, Nissan, but what was the jutsu? And why did you call it spiral release? Narumi asked with a tear of her head, tilt of her head. Chuckling, Naruto patted her head and said, "That's my bestest emoto. That my dearest emoto was one of my abilities, alternate version of Rasengan. I am sure you both know what that is," asked Naruto, getting a nod from both of the twins. "Have you learned it yet?" asked Naruto, to which both the girls shook their heads and said, "We are focusing on elemental jutsu since controlling the Kyuubi's chakra is pain in the ass." Oh. Ooh. Mito yelled as Naruto bonked her. Mito yelled as Naruto bonked her on the head and said, "No using foul language in front of me, Missy. Am I understood?" "Hi, Nissan," Mito meekly replied, while blushing from embarrassment. We'll back to our original question. Back to your original question. I based several moves based on Rasengan, so I decided to name it as a whole style of its own. So far, I have created some 15 jutsu of my very own spiral release. All of them require very, and I mean very good chakra control," said Naruto. As he expected, both the girls had developed look of admiration on their faces. Soon Narumi we asked him the puppy dog look and said, "Nissan, please show me another jutsu of your spiral release." Mito gave him the same look and nodded along with Narumi. Looking at them, Naruto felt his defenses crumbling down before he sighed and nodded. Turning around, he brought his hands up and said, "Spiral rays." Odadom Rasengan. A giant spiraling ball appeared in his hand before it disappeared. The smug at the dumb expression before turning around and going to his house. Both the girls were brought out of their stubborn and quickly ran after him. Watching from the trees was one of Danzo's operatives. He decided to go and inform his master on a new development. However, before he could leave, he felt a sword streaking out of his chest. Gasping and then coughing out blood, he turned and saw Itachi standing there with a smirk on his face. "I can't have you revealing my student's secret now, can I?" he rhetorically asked before twisting and removing the sword. Then he looked the body and disappeared into the pre-even sky. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you wanna be notified for the next part, then the best way is by subscribing. That being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.